Now, Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advagadadara Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advagadadara Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. I pay my obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. I express my all gratitude and praises to Srila Prabhupada for showing us a easy path to go back to Godhead. All goes to Srila Prabhupada for his wonderful devotional services to Srimati Radharani and Lord Gopinath. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Hare Krishna. We are doing this Bhagavath Katha, second chapter, Divinity and Divine Services. This is the reply of Sudha Maharshi to the Saunaka Munis in Naimisharanya forest. We have completed the 9th verse. Today we will be doing the 10th verse. Please repeat with me 3 times. I'll tell them slowly. Kamasya Nendriya Pritehe Labho Jiveta Yavata Jivasya Tattva Jignasa Nartho Yasya Cheha Karmabhihi Kamasya Nendra Pritarha Labho Jiveta Yavata Jivasya Tattva Jignasa Nartho Yas Cheha Karmabhihi Kamasya Nendra Pritarhi Labho Jiveta Yavata Jivasya Tattva Jignasa Nato Yas Cheha Karmabhihi Kamasya Nendra Pratihi Labho Jiveta Yavata Jivasya Tattva Jignasa Natho Yas Cheha Karmabhihi. The word to word meaning is Kamasya, of our desires. It can be any desires. All desires are known as Kamasya. Na, not. Indriya, senses. Our all the senses. Pritihi, satisfaction. Labhaha, gain. Jiveta, self-preservation. Yavata, so much so. Jivasya, of the living being. Tattva, the absolute truth. Jignasa, inquiries. Na, not. Arthaha, end. Yaha, Yahacha, Iha, whatsoever else. Karma bihi, by occupational activities. The translation of this verse tells life's desires should never be directed toward sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for the inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's work. In this material world, we'll have so many desires. We should have desires, not that we shouldn't have desires. We need to have desires, but otherwise it should not be just only for the purpose of sense gratification. And also the desire what we possess, whether it is materialistic or spiritual, it should be only for a healthy life and preservation of this body in service of the Supreme Lord. Since human being born here and we have intelligence, we need to inquire who are we? Who are we? This soul, spirit soul and our body is not one and the same. They are individual, they are separate from each other. So we should inquire about our soul as well as the creator, the supreme soul. So it is nothing but knowing about the absolute truth. So we will have so many goals in this world to achieve so many things. In the beginning, we have a goal to achieve top ranks in our education. Then after that one, we'll try to get into some good service or good business or become a very great industrialist. Like that, we have so many goals. We should have, it's not that we should not have, but other than that, the main goal, all other goals should be there to achieve something, success in this world. But the main goal should be towards the Supreme Lord. That should be our main goal. The completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards the fulfillment of desires for self-gratification. Here in this world, we are attracted by this nature, we are always diverted towards the fulfillment of desires for sense gratification only, whether it is for acquiring a lot of wealth or for acquiring a suitable wife or husband. We try to fulfill our materialistic goals for the sense gratification. In politics, social service, altruism, philanthropy, and ultimately in religion or even in salvation, the very name tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. See, again here, there are also salvation. Salvation is nothing but liberation. Again, this liberation we should not desire. We have no right to desire for salvation. We have to take any number of births for doing our karma properly until unless we get the moksha. It is only Krishna's blessings we can get moksha. Without Krishna's blessings we cannot. Though we desire for salvation, we cannot. So that means we can't leave that desire. We need to have that desire, but ultimately it is only Krishna's blessings. So if you don't desire for salvation, you will be always attracted towards materialistic desires. To avoid that one, we should have desire for salvation also. But the very same tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. In the political field, the leaders of men fight with one another to fulfill their personal sense gratification. Today, they say all the political leaders that they will do some good benefits to the people, but they never work for the people. Their main aim is to fulfill their own desires, to just pocket the money and loot the people. They never fulfill any of the people's requirements. Again, for people, what is the requirements? Essentially, we need food, shelter, clothing, all these things we need. Those things government never provides. Before elections, they make so many promises, but everything appears to be only fake. After once they get elected, they will never care about fulfillment of those promises. The voters adore the so-called leaders only when they promise sense gratification. As soon as the voters are dissatisfied in their own sense satisfaction, they dethrone the leaders. The leaders must always disappoint the voters by not satisfying their senses. Suppose if all the whatever they have promised, they fulfill it. Again, it's a problem for the leaders. They can't loot the public. To make them, they have to come. It's necessary. They will not fulfill their promises. The leader must always disappoint the voters by not satisfying their senses. The same is applicable in all other fields. No one is serious about the problems of life. Similarly, even we also, to fulfill our desires, we forget all the promises made to the God. We have made many promises before our birth in the womb of the mother. But once we are born, we are attracted with this nature and materialistic desires. We forgot. We don't remember who is God. Even those who are on the path of salvation desire to become one with absolute truth. The persons who desire salvation, moksha, they think they want their soul should go and unite with absolute truth. That will never happen. We are all souls are independent from Paramatma's soul. Like us, Paramatma is also existing eternally, separately. Only thing is, moksha means what we attain there in that world is we get the same form as Lord possesses. Like 4 hands, weapons, whatever he is possessing, we get all those things and we will be at his service. Whatever he instructs us, we will be doing his services in that planet, in the Vaikuntha or Golaka Vrindavana. Because the body is made of senses and which also requires a certain amount of satisfaction. Totally we can't renunciate. See, even the monks, they renunciate their immediate family. They renunciate their immediate family, but otherwise they have to take care of the entire society and world. They have to do a lot of preaching. They can't simply sit and go and meditate. Even they want to do that one, they need some water, they need some food. Again, there should be somebody to help them, to make them. For that purpose, they need some earnings by way of charity or whatever it is. So, any person has to do his own activities. Nobody can, so this minimum desires are required, but sense are not meant for unrestricted enjoyment. Whatever enjoyment you are having, that cannot be unlimited. To some extent, you have to enjoy that also with sharing with all others. It is not that you have to alone enjoy. You need to alone enjoy with the family, with the society and all others. For example, marriage or the combination of man with a woman is necessary progeny. Is necessary for progeny. We need to have sons and daughters. Here they are not saying that everybody should become a bachelor. If that happens, after some time there will be no existence of mankind. Everybody will become extinct. We need to continue the progeny for so many reasons. Because like we take care of our old age parents, we are also going to attain the old age. At some that time, somebody should be there to take care of us. Like that, again there are so many rituals to be performed. We think, okay, if son is not a daughter, somebody will do the cremation, that is not the proper way. For everything, see why somebody will do. Nobody will do. If that happens, just they leave it, Parsis, they leave the bodies to the crows, dead bodies to the crows. So that happens. Or some animal comes and eats our body. So for everything we have certain rituals has to be. If a boy or girl is taken birth, you have to name the child. That samskara has to be done. Without naming, how the child will take its name. So, and we have to take care of the baby in the growth, help in the education. In turn, when we become old, they help us. Like that, certain desires are required, but it's not that it is the only thing we have to enjoy. But it is meant for sense enjoyment. In the absence of voluntary restraint, there is propaganda for a family planning. Again, that is wrong. In earlier ancient times, in Mahabharata, yesterday itself I was telling, they used to have thousands of progeny, not one or two. Now, beyond two, we feel it is not possible because of present financial burdens. We feel it is burden. But in earlier this thing, they used to have thousands of children. Thousands of children. This Sagara Chakravarti, he had 60,000 sons. And all the 60,000 sons, they gave up their life for the purpose of this, to follow the instructions of his father. Like Rama has followed Dasharatha Maharaja. This Sagar Chakravarti, he performed some yajna, sacrifice. For that one, yajna pashu, a horse was there. If Sagar Chakravarti succeed that sacrifice, Devendra will have some problem. So to create problem to Sagara Chakravarti, he has stolen the horse. He has stolen the horse, he has taken away. So without that horse, he cannot complete the sacrifice. So he called his all the 60,000 children. They asked him to go and in search of the horse, Ignapashu. So they all went. They went so far, they reached the hell also to find that one. They could not find. They were killed. All the 60,000 were killed. Again, he will have one more son from a step wife, another wife. That wife, that son, he alone will go and he'll find out and will get this one. So like that, they used to have number of progeny used to be. Today, beyond one, we think of the second. Beyond second, there is no this thing at all. And some people, they are happy without the children. Without children, they are happy. They try to enjoy without children. So we need to have. So, but foolish men do not know that family planning is automatically executed as soon as there is search for the absolute truth. Once you need not make any such plannings. Once you think about God, God knows how many progeny to be provided to you, how many are required for your living. So once you seek His searching of absolute truth, He will automatically that plan comes into existence. Seekers of the absolute truth are never allured by unnecessary engagements in sense gratification. Whoever are in the search of the salvation, liberation, who is in search of absolute truth, they will never be allured by these unnecessary engagements for sense gratification. Because the serious students seeking absolute truth are always overwhelmed with the work of researching the truth. Like our scientists, once they get into some invention, by hook or crook, they will be involved in that only. They will never engage themselves in any other thing. They will be doing only that one until they achieve their aim. Similarly, the persons who seek for absolute truth, they will be continuously doing the research. Initially, they will be following the epics like Mahabharata, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavath Katha, and there are so many Puranas. And also they will get seriously to the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the narration of all incarnations of Sri Krishna Paramatma, the absolute truth. In every sphere of life, therefore, the ultimate end must be seeking after the absolute truth. You do all actions, but your ultimate aim should be seeking the absolute truth. And the sort of engagement will make one happy because he will be less engaged in varieties of sense gratification. Once you are in the Krishna consciousness, you can worship any of his incarnations, whether Hayagriva, Varaha, Narasimha Swami, Rama, or Srinivasa, any of his incarnation. There are no restrictions for that one. There are no rules or regulations that you should worship only particular deity. You can worship anybody, including Krishna himself. But the only thing is, you need to, once you are involved in that one, while doing your karma, once you are involved in that one, you will automatically less attracted to the other materialistic desires. You understand, all of you understand English? You can understand English, or I need to explain in Telugu? And Telugu ante anta cheppanu akkadakkada cheptu unta. So we are going into the next verse, 11th verse. Please repeat with me 3 times. Afterwards, I will go into the details. Vadanti tat. Please repeat loudly. Vadanti tat. Tatta vidas. తత్వం యజ్ జ్ఞానం అద్వయం బ్రహ్మేతి పరమాత్మేతి భగవాన్ ఇతి సబధ్యతే వదంతి తత్ తత్వవిదాస్ తత్వం యజ్ జ్ఞానం అద్వయం బ్రహ్మేతి పరమాత్మేతి భగవాన్ ఇది సభ్యతే వదంతి తత్ తత్వవిదా తత్వం యజ్ జ్ఞానం అద్వయం బ్రహ్మేతి పరమాత్మేతి భగవాన్ ఇది సభ్యతే వదంతి తత్ తత్వవిద తత్వం యజ్ఞ జ్ఞానం అద్వయం బ్రహ్మేతి పరమాత్మేతి భగవాన్ ఇది సభ్యతే. ది ఇమీడియట్ వర్డ్ టు వర్డ్ మీనింగ్ వద్యతి వదంతి. వదంతి మీన్స్ దేశే అంటే వాళ్ళు చెప్తున్నారు. తత్ దట్ తత్వ విద ద లర్న్ సోల్స్ అంటే బాగా చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళు. బాగా చదువుకోవాలంటే ఏదో ఈనాటి ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కాదు, వేదాలు పురాణాలు అని లర్న్ స్కాలర్స్. తత్వం ది అబ్సల్యూట్ ట్రూత్. తత్వం అంటే అబ్సల్యూట్ ట్రూత్ అంటే పరమాత్మ భగవంతుడే అబ్సల్యూట్ ట్రూత్. యత్ విచ్ జ్ఞానం నాలెడ్జ్ ఎవరికైతే భగవంతుడి యొక్క జ్ఞానం ఉంటుందో అది ఆ జ్ఞానం. ఎన్నో రకాల జ్ఞానాలు అవన్నీ జ్ఞానాలు కాదు, భగవంతుడి యొక్క జ్ఞానమే జ్ఞానం. అద్వయం నాన్ డ్యూయల్. బ్రహ్మ ఇది నోన్ యాజ్ బ్రహ్మన్. మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ బ్రహ్మ ఇది అంటే బ్రహ్మ అని అంటారు. బ్రహ్మ అంటే చతుర్ముఖ బ్రహ్మ అని కాదు, ఇక్కడ బ్రహ్మ అంటే పరమాత్మ భగవంతుడు. పరమాత్మన్ ఇది నోన్ యాజ్ పరమాత్మ భగవాన్ ఇది నోన్ యాజ్ భగవాన్ సబధ్యతే ఇది ఇట్స్ సో సౌండెడ్. అంటే ఇక్కడ మన అదే చెప్తున్నారు. ఇక్కడ మనం బ్రహ్మన్ అనేది చతుర్ముఖ బ్రహ్మ అని ఇచ్చేయదు. ఇక్కడ బ్రహ్మన్ అంటే పరమాత్మ అనేసి భగవాన్ అనేసి ఆ విధంగా అన్నమాట ఇది అర్థం. లర్న్ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్స్ హూ నో ది అబ్సల్యూట్ ట్రూత్ కాల్ దిస్ నాన్ డ్యూయల్ సబ్స్టెన్స్ బ్రహ్మన్ పరమాత్మ ఆర్ భగవాన్. అంటే జ్ఞానులు ఎవరైతే వేదాలు ఇతిహాసాలు పురాణాలు ఇవన్నీ చదువుకున్నారో వాళ్ళకి ఆ జ్ఞానం ఉందో వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఈ యొక్క పరమాత్మ యొక్క తత్వాన్ని నిజమైన తత్వాన్ని వాళ్ళు బ్రహ్మణన్న పరమాత్మకి పరమాత్మ అన్న భగవాన్ మూడింటిని ఒకటే రకంగా చూస్తారు, అన్నింటినీ ఒకటే రకంగా చూస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు బ్రహ్మన్కి ఉదాహరణకి ఇప్పుడు సూర్యుడే ఉన్నాడు. సూర్యుడు ఆయన కిరణాలతో ఉంటే మనం సూర్యుడు ఉంటాం. మధ్యలో ఉన్న రౌండ్ ఎర్రగా ఉండేది కూడా అది కూడా అన్నీ కలిపే సూర్యుడు అంటాం. అంటే ఆయన బ్రహ్మన్ కిందికి వస్తాడు. పరమాత్మ మీన్స్ అందరి జీవుల్లో ఉట్టి మనుషులని కాదు, ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ లివింగ్ బీయింగ్, ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ బీయింగ్ పరమాత్మ ఈజ్ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్. ఆత్మతో పాటు పరమాత్మ దేవుడు కూడా ఉన్నాడు కనుక అని పరమాత్మ అంటాం. ముఖ్యమైన నిజమైన ఆత్మ ఆయన వెనక ఉంటాడు, అది పరమాత్మ. మళ్ళీ భగవాన్ అంటే వైకుంఠంలో కానీ గోలోక వృందాంలో కానీ ఏ వైకుంఠంలో కానీ ఆయన భగవంతుడు. ఆ భగవంతుడికి ఎన్నో రకాల there are several names for him, thousands of names, not one or two, like Rishikesha, Madhusudana, Damodara, Jagannatha, Janardana, Krishna, Rama. You take whatever these names. కృష్ణ అంటే ఇక్కడున్న కృష్ణుడు అని కాదు, వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా కృష్ణులే. ఇప్పుడు కృష్ణ అంటే ఏమి, ఆయన నీల రంగుతోని ఉంటాడు, సుందరంగా ఉంటాడు కనుక ఆయన కృష్ణుడు అని పేరు వచ్చింది. విష్ణు అంటారు. వై ది నేమ్ విష్ణు? బికాజ్ హీ స్ప్రెడ్ ఆల్ ఓవర్. హీ ఇస్ నోన్ యాజ్ విష్ణు. అండ్ జనార్దన, జనులను రక్షించేవాడు, జనులు ఆయన ఆరాధిస్తారు, అందుకో జనార్దన. మధుసూదన, మధు అనే రాక్షసుని చంపాడుగా మధుసూదన అయ్యాడు. కేశవ, తన జుట్టు గుంపులు ఉంటుంది అది అనుకుంటారు. ఇంకోటి కేశి అనే రాక్షసు సంహరించాడు, కేశిని సంహరించాడు కనుక ఆయన కేశవుడు అయ్యాడు. ఈ రకంగా ఆయనకు ఎన్నో సహస్ర అంటే 1000 అంటారు, సహస్ర అంటే 1000 కాదు, అన్నిటికంటే కూడా ఇంకెక్కువ ఉన్నాయి. ఆయనకు ఎన్నో సహస్ర అవతారాలు. మనకు తెలిసింది దశావతారాలు, ఇన్ ఓన్లీ 10 అవతారాస్. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parashurama, Rama, Krishna, and now Balrama and Kalki. But not these 10 avatars. There are several thousands of avatars, because now the creation has taken place. This what the scientists they say 5,000 years back, 7,000 back, the universe has come into existence. That is wrong. It is crores. In yesterday Mahabharata, I was telling about the life of Hiranyakashipu during Satyuga. He was there. Hiranyakashipu ఒక ఆశ ఎంత ఉండే అంటే ఆయన తపస్సు చేసింది 11,500 ఏళ్ళు, 11,500 తపస్సు చేసి ఆయన బ్రహ్మ వరం తీసుకొని 5,21,00,000 5,21,60,000 years he survived. He was troubling everybody of that means 5,21,60,000 divided by 43,000, 20,000. How many Chaturiyas you can calculate? ఒక చతుర్యుగం, సత్యయుగము, త్రేతాయుగము, ద్వాపరయుగము, కలియుగం ఇవన్నీ కలిపితే 43,20,000 ఏండ్లు అవుతుంది. ఆ 5,21,00,000 దాన్ని క్యాల్కులేట్ చేయండి మీరు. ఎన్ని యుగాలు, ఎన్ని చతుర్యుగాలు అయింది, అన్ని చతుర్యుగాలు జీవించినాడు ఆయన. అంటే అంతకంటే పూర్వమే ఈ జగత్తంతా ఉంది. ఈనాటి బ్రహ్మకు టుడేస్ బ్రహ్మాస్ ఏజ్ ఈజ్ 52 years and his life is 100 years. He need to live for another 48 years. His lifespan is not like ours. His lifespan is 1,000 kalpas. One kalpa is equal to 1,000 chaturyugas. 43 lakhs into 20,000 into 1,000 is one kalpa. That is his daytime. Now Brahma's daytime is going on. We are all living. అదే సమయము ఒక కల్పం. ఆ సమయము ఆయనకు రాత్రి అవుతుంది. మనమంతా కూడా కృష్ణుడి ఉదరంలో పడి కడుపులో వెళ్ళిపోతాం. ఈ ఎంటర్ ఇంటూ ఈ స్టమక్ విల్ నాట్ ఆల్ దీస్ వర్డ్స్. మనమే కాదు, ఆల్ లివింగ్ బీయింగ్స్ ఇంక్లూడింగ్ రాధారాణి, ఎవ్రీబడి, చతుర్ముఖ బ్రహ్మ కూడా విల్ బి ఇన్ ది స్టమక్ ఆఫ్ కృష్ణ పరమాత్మస్ ఉదర. అండ్ when again we make the creation, everybody will come out. మనమంతా కూడా మన కర్మ ప్రకారంగా అగైన్ విల్ టేక్ ది బర్త్, న్యూ బర్త్. సో లైక్ దట్ పరమాత్ముడు భగవంతుడిని గుర్తించాలి. సో కృష్ణుడిని ఏ రూపంలో ఏ నామంతోనైనా కానీ జపించవచ్చు. ది అబ్సల్యూట్ ట్రూత్ ఇస్ బోత్ సబ్జెక్ట్ అండ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. మనకు ఆయనే కారణం అన్నమాట. మన దృష్టిలో కూడా ఆయనే ఉండాలి. అండ్ దేర్ ఆర్ నో క్వాలిటేటివ్ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ హిమ్. ఇప్పుడు ఈ శ్రీ మద్భాగవతమైన కృష్ణుడే, మహాభారతమైన కృష్ణుడే, కృష్ణుడే, విగ్రహమైన కృష్ణుడే, సర్వవ్యాపి అయిన, సర్వవ్యాపి. విశ్వం విశ్వ షట్కారో అంటారు విశ్వశాస్త్రంలో. విశ్వం అంటే ఈ జగత్ అంతా కూడా కృష్ణ పరమాత్ముడే. దాంట్లో ఒక్కొక్క పదానికి ఒక్కొక్క ఇది ఉంది. ఆ విధంగా విష్ణు సహస్రనామంలో 1000 పేర్లు వివరంగా ఇచ్చారు. అది కాకుండా ఎన్నో ఉన్నాయి. ది సేమ్ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ రియలైజ్డ్ యాజ్ ఇంపర్సనల్ బ్రహ్మన్ బై ది స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఉపనిషత్స్. కొంతమంది భగవంతుడికి ఆకారం లేదు ఆయనకు అనేసి ఈ దీపమే భగవంతుడు. దీపం కూడా భగవంతుడు కావచ్చు, ఎందుకంటే ఎప్పుడైతే నేను విష్ణు సర్వవ్యాపి అంటున్నానో అన్నిట్లో కూడా ఉన్నాడు. కానీ వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఆ దీప రూపంలో ఉండేదే భగవంతుడు, వేరే కాదు అంటారు. నిరాకారం అంటాడు, ఆకారం లేదు. అక్కడ భగవంతుడికి నిరాకారం. దే సే దేర్ ఇస్ నో ఫామ్ ఫర్ కృష్ణ, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ దట్ హీ డస్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఫామ్. నిరాకారము, ద మీనింగ్ నిరాకార ఇస్ సాంస్క్రిట్ వర్డ్. ది మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ నిరాకార ఇస్, సి మనం బాల్యంలో శిశువుగా ఉంటాం, విల్ బి లైక్ ఎ చైల్డ్. యవ్వనం వచ్చిన కొంచెం యంగ్ అవుతాం, తర్వాత కొంచెం గృహస్థులు అయినప్పుడు ఇంకో మిడిల్ ఏజ్, తర్వాత వృద్ధులవుతాం. బట్ కృష్ణుడికి హీఈస్ ఆల్వేస్ ఓన్లీ వన్. హీ అపియర్స్ లైక్ 16 years old. Always 16 years old only he will appear. So he will never be old at all. Adi, there is no change. Nirakaro meaning is no change in the form. No change in form is the meaning. But these Mayavadis and the other philosophy who follow them, they say Nirakara means God has no form. So this the Jyoti itself is the form. That is wrong. God is having form like us, but his form is different. Again, we are made of Panchabhutas, but God's body is made of Panchosmaya. Without blood, we have blood. He does not have blood and muscles. That is mentioned in scripture. I don't want to, it takes a lot of time again. The same substance realized is impersonal Brahman by the students of Upanishad. as localized Paramatma by Hiranyagarbha or the yogis, as Bhagwan by the devotees. In other words, Bhagwan or the personality of God is the last for the absolute truth. భగవంతుడు అంటే ఆయన్ని మనం ఇప్పుడు కొంతమందిని భగవాన్ అని అంటాం. We call it's only respectful word for others, like Vedas Bhagwan. Again, Vedas Bhagwan is the incarnation of Krishna himself. But like that one, even for some people they call Bhagwan. It's only respectful word. Otherwise, the Bhagwantudu, Bhagwan is only meant for Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord. The Paramatma is the partial representative of the personality of God, which we can't see within ourselves. And impersonal Brahman is the glowing influence of the personality of God. Like I told you earlier itself, the sun and sun rays both are there. Sun cannot be there without rays, and sun rays cannot be there without sun. So that is known as this one, Godhead. That is also known as this thing, or the sun god. Less intelligent students of either of the above schools sometimes argue in favor of their own respective realization. Some see again, sun also we call him as Surya Narayana. Why we call him Surya Narayana? Like Krishna is existing in everybody's Atma. Similarly, Krishna is also there in sun god. So directly we can see him. All these devatas, there are 33 కోట్ల దేవతలు ఉన్నారు. ఒకరు కాదు, ఇద్దరు కాదు, there are 33 కోట్ల దేవతలు ఉన్నారు. For our eyes to blink, one devata is there. For our fingers to move, for hands to move, there are different devatas for different this thing, purpose. So similarly, all these devatas, they are devotees of Krishna, because they follow all rules and regulations made by Krishna. Sun rises at 5:30 means at 5:30 sun rises. He will never rise beyond 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. And he will sunset whatever specified time, whether 5:30 or 6, whatever time is there, sunset at that time. So everyone follows. Not only that, even animals, they follow their own regulations. They have regulations. They follow whatever food is prescribed for them. They take their food. పశువులు జంతువులు ఏదో వాటి కాసాహారం అదన్నీ వెతుక్కొని అదే తింటుంది. అన్ని చెత్త ఉంటే తినదు. అంతా తీసుకొని చెత్తకుండలో పడేస్తాం, throw it in the garbage. The animals, whether it is hen or goat or even the cows, they go, they search for their food, they eat. Other things they leave it. Like that they follow the rules and regulations. Only we human beings, because he has given his intelligence, we add it to extra word. We make it as an extra intelligence and we use all unnecessary things. మనం తినని అన్ని కూడా తినేస్తాం. మనకు ఆకలిలో ఉన్న దాంట్లో we need to take only 50 to 60% of liquid and only about 20% of solids, and remaining 25% we should leave the stomach vacant. But we will not do that. We take 200% because of taste and other things. So like that, desires in this world attract. To relish that food, we may take 200%, due to which what's happening? We are diseased. We'll be diabetic, we'll have BP, we'll have thyroid problems, we have cancer, we have TB, all problems we purchase. It's not that God has given all this thing. All these sufferings we are earning for ourselves by following a wrong path. So like that, but those who are perfect seers of absolute truth know well that above 3 features, one absolute truth or different perspective seen from different angles of vision. Again, as it is explained in the first shloka of the first chapter of Bhagavatam, the supreme truth is self-sufficient, cognizant and free from illusion of relativity. In the relative world, the knower is different from the known. Or the one and the same thing. In the relative world, the knower is the living spirit or super energy, whereas the known is inert matter or inferior energy. మనకు ఈ కనిపించే అవన్నీ కూడా ఇట్స్ ఇన్ఫీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ. ప్రకృతిలో మనకైతే కనిపిస్తుందో అవన్నీ కూడా ఇన్ఫీరియర్. ఒకటి సుపీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ, ఇంకోటి ఇన్ఫీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ. ఇట్ ఈస్ క్లాసిఫైడ్ టు 2 things. ది నోయింగ్ అబౌట్ సుప్రీం గాడ్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ సుపీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ. అది కాకుండా మిగతాది జగత్తులో, ఇక్కడ భూమిపైనే కాదు, జగత్తులో ఎన్నో గ్రహాలు, ఉపగ్రహాలు అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. అన్నిట్లో ఉన్న అన్నీ కూడా ఇన్ఫీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ. Therefore, there is a duality in inferior and superiority, whereas the absolute realm knows the knower and known are the same superior energy. There are 3 kinds of energies of the supreme energetic. There is no difference between the energy and energetic. అందులో ఉన్న శక్తి కానీ ఆ శక్తికి ఒక పవర్ అది కూడా అన్నీ ఒకటే, రెండు వేరు వేరు కాదు. అండ్ ది లివింగ్ ఎంటిటీ సేమ్ సుపీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ. మనమంతా కూడా వి ఆల్ బిలాంగ్ టు దట్ సుపీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ ఓన్లీ. భగవంతుడికి మనం సృష్టించినప్పుడు వి ఆల్ బిలాంగ్ టు దట్ సుపీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ ఓన్లీ. బట్ ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన తర్వాత మనం ఈ దానికి లొంగిపోయామన్నమాట. ఈ ప్రకృతి లొంగిపోయి వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు గెట్ సంథింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ మెటీరియలిస్టిక్ వరల్డ్. ది లివింగ్ బీయింగ్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ కాంటాక్ట్ విత్ ది ఇన్ఫీరియర్ ఎనర్జీ, దట్ ఈస్ ఇల్యూజన్. మనం ఈ మాయలో పడిపోయాం. ఇల్యూజన్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ మాయ. ఈ మాయలో పడిపోయేసి మనము భగవంతుడిని మర్చిపోయాం. Therefore, there is the sense of relativity in the material world. In the absolute, there is no sense of difference between the knower and known, and therefore everything is absolute. మనమంతా కూడా ఈ యొక్క ప్రకృతిలో ఏదైతే శక్తి ఉందో అదంతా లైక్ పొల్యూటెడ్ శక్తి అన్నమాట, అడల్టరేటెడ్ శక్తి. దానికి మనము ఆకర్షణ పడుతున్నాం. దానికి ఆకర్షించబడి మనం లొంగిపోయాం. అట్లా కాకుండా మన యొక్క ఈ సెన్స్, వాట్ ఎవర్ సెన్స్ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్, వీ నీడ్ టు కీప్ ఇట్ అండర్ కంట్రోల్. ఫర్ కీపింగ్ ఇట్ అండర్ అవర్ కంట్రోల్, యూ థింక్ దట్ దిస్ బాడీ ఈజ్ ఎ చారియట్. కురుక్షేత్ర యుద్ధంలో, in Kurukshetra war, this Pandavas and Kauravas, they had a very fierce battle. At that time, Arjuna, he made Krishna as his charioteer. తన రథాన్ని నడిపించడానికి. భగవంతుడు ఎలాంటి గుణాలు ఉంటాయంటే, మనం భగవంతుడు ఎప్పుడైతే లొంగుతామో భగవంతుడు కూడా మనకు లొంగిపోతాడు. భగవంతుడు కూడా లొంగిపోతాడు. భగవంతుడు లొంగడి కాదు. ఈవెన్ హీ విల్ సరెండర్ టు అస్. He will listen whatever we say. Like that, when Arjuna has asked Krishna to be his charioteer, because Arjuna was a pure devotee, when he asked Krishna to be his charioteer, he became a driver. And being a charioteer, you know what are the services he has done. Like a normal driver who cleans our car, keeps the car ready. Like that one, for the chariot, horses were there, 4 horses. He used to bathe the horses. He used to graze them with the grass. He used to clean the chariot. He used to keep all the weapons ready for Arjuna in this thing. Because the battle was only between sunrise and sunset. During the night, they used to take rest. So, during the evenings, Krishna used to take out everything, all the weapons, everything, keep it inside. Again, in the early morning, he used to keep everything in the chariot, keep it ready. And he used to call Arjuna, Arjuna, your chariot is ready, you can come. Like that, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, because Arjuna was a devotee, he had done so much of service to Arjuna. Similarly, when we surrender to him, Krishna doesn't mind doing everything to us. We need not ask him anything. Arjuna never asked Krishna, he only asked, be my charioteer. So, be my charioteer means, being charioteer, he executed everything. Arjuna never asked, you clean my chariot, you feed my horses, he never told. Krishna done. It was his responsibility because he is devotee. Not only that one, while fighting Krishna as a charioteer, it was his responsibility to care of the warrior. He used to suggest, you fight with so and so person, with so and so weapon. You take out this one, you kill him. He used to suggest. sometimes he said, no, now we'll not fight, we'll go with a different way. He should take away the chariot to a different place. Like that one, Arjuna was led by Krishna. Similarly, we should completely surrender. Make this, think, imagine this body as a chariot. Imagine this body as chariot and your Atma as Arjuna. You have, the Paramatma is there behind the Atma. You hand over the control of our senses to Krishna. He will lead us. That means, it's not that you need not do anything. You need to do all your karma. One thing you remember, you can't shun any of your responsibilities. Just sit at one place, at home or in the temple, just doing the meditation. You need to do meditation also. But while doing all your karma, you have to take care of your parents. That is the first duty you have to do. Because in this world, for getting this human body, Krishna has blessed you. But again, once again, the parents who have given you birth, whatever reason, for fulfilling their own desires of sex, they have enjoyed, that is different. But for giving your birth, they are the first persons. So you need to respect them and take care of them. Like Krishna Paramatma is Adi Guru and Adi Pita and Adi Mata. Like that, in this world, our own parents, you need to respect them because they have given birth. Without them, you would have not got this Panchabhuta Deha. Because of them only got this body. Even though your parents are not, don't have a good knowledge, they may be poor, whatever condition. So many rickshaw pullers are there, so many Shudra, they are doing so many scavenge workers are there. But their children also, they should respect their parents. Because of them only they have got the bodies. Recently I have seen in papers, many auto rickshaw drivers, they have got top ranks, gold medals and all those things. Some people were selected to UPSC and State Public Service Commission also. So that means once they get those things, with egoism, they can't forget their parents. They need to respect whoever it is. So you have to take care of parents. Again, when you give birth to your children, even that responsibility of children, to bring them up in Krishna consciousness, to bring them in Krishna, whatever you hear here, or somewhere else in the satsang, whatever you hear about the Bhagavan, you need to preach to your parents, because out of old age they may not be able to come here. For some reason, they'll not be able to come here. You tell them about the God. You speak to your other spouse, whether wife or husband, preach about God. You educate your children with about God. They should have normal education. That is only literacy. For our living in this Kali Yuga time, in this world, we need that literacy education also. But otherwise, you preach about the God education to children also. In your colony, in your society, in this city, everywhere, you speak to your friends about this, about the God. Like that, you do the preaching. It's not necessary that, like me sitting in this Veda asana and telling the Vyasasana and telling doing the preaching. It's not necessary for everyone to do that one. You can do preaching as a normal being while doing all your activities. So like that, preaching will all take place, and for you it becomes a practice to remember Krishna. You need not remember him separately. Otherwise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the incarnation of Lord Krishna in this Kali Yuga, as a devotee to himself, about 600 to 700 years back, he has given us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This Mahamantra can be chanted anywhere, anytime, 24 hours into 7 days, into 365 days, and lifelong. So, like that, remembering Krishna, we will be, at the end of our life, we will be qualified. You can desire for moksha, because as soon as you desire moksha, it is not necessary for Krishna to give you moksha. I'll tell you one more example. In Ramayana, this Lakshmana was always 24 hours with Rama, whereas Bharata was never with Rama. But Bharata was more devotee than Lakshmana. He was a pure devotee of Rama himself. When Dasharatha Maharaja sent Rama to forest, after his before at that time Bharata was in Kaikai Nagra, he returned, knowing the some of his messengers they brought him there, and after seeing his father's death and knowing all the events, he went to forest with a desire to bring back Rama. His Bharata's desire was to bring back Rama. But what happened? When he desired Rama to come back, Rama said, "No, I am not coming back, take my chappal." He gave his padaka to him. Similarly, we desire something, but Krishna may not give us those desires. He might give different things. So he knows what we need, what he has to provide us. Like Bharata got padukas from Rama instead of himself. Like that, Krishna might give us different things. But you are eligible to desire, you have to desire salvation, but it is his blessings. So like that, we need to remember him. In the Antakala, we have to remember. In the Bhagavath Gita 8th chapter, Krishna Paramatma in the 5th sloka tells, Antakale Mahachaka Kalimukta. At the end of our life, whatever we remember, we have achieved that life in the next birth. In case we remember Krishna himself, we get salvation. Otherwise, if you remember something else, you become that. If you remember some animal, you take animal life. If you remember some devata, you go to higher planet. If you remember some your parental ancestors, you go to that Pitruloka. If you remember some gurus or spiritual leaders, you go to Pitruloka. There are different lokas are there, based on the remembrance at the end of life. And it is said, when we are as a child in mothers pregnant, at the, right from 5th month, we will have knowledge of Supreme God. We will be promising him so many things, whatever he instructs, we promises, we make promise. And during that time, we know, not only we know the absolute truth, we know all our lives previously we have taken. All our previous lives of 84 lakhs living beings. It's not population, I'm telling you different beings like mosquito, housefly, cockroach, whatever it is, still Chaturmukha Brahma. All the lives, 84 lakhs. In that one, in each one of them, how many thousands of times we have taken, we do not know. By God's grace, sympathy, He has given us this human life with great, we are very fortunate to have this human life. In this human life, if we follow His instructions properly, we will be qualified for moksha. So, while performing our responsibilities, we need to follow the dharma path. And at the end of life, when just few seconds before leaving this life, we will be knowing what type of life we are going to take. Next, what type of life, based on our karma, what we have done in earlier lives and present life. But we can avoid those future life also if we remember Krishna. If you remember Krishna at that point, you will be qualified for salvation. You will not take those births. Otherwise, according to that one, you will be taking another birth. Maybe immediately or if sometime, depends upon the big karma what you have done. So, in order to avoid, because in earlier yugas, they were doing many years, thousands of years penance, tapasya sevali, and many years yaga, they used to form Satra Yaga. Satra means it will be for 12 years, minimum 12 years. That will be it's an ongoing sacrifice. Yagnalo anustistuntaru. ఆ యజ్ఞాలు చేస్తూ కూర్చుని ఉంటారు. At that time what happens, human life was more. In Dwapara Yuga also they used to do. Now in Kali Yuga we say it is human life is 100 years. But we are not sure we will live for 100 years. We might die immediately, we do not know. Because lifespan is not, Nobody knows. Krishna himself has told in to Arjuna during Kurukshetra war in Bhagavath Katha, we do not know when we will take birth, and we are also not sure about our end. Krishna himself tells. So, since we do not know our end, right from the childhood, we should practice remembering God, so that at the end, whatever, whether we are in paralysis condition, handicap, this thing, or we go out, meet with spot death in the accident, we do not know. So, but if we are continuous practice, Krishna will oblige us. So, for that reason, we need to remember Krishna all the time. Do your studies. You are going to schools or colleges? College. While going to you go to college, you study, that is required for this existence in this world. You need to do. While bathing, while eating, while chatting with all of you friends, chatting, you think about God, discuss about God. You don't think about some heroes and heroines. That's a wasteful time. Instead of doing those chatting, whatever you hear here, use other stories from any other place, but proper correct this absolute perfect knowledge you discuss among yourselves in the family, all like that you practice. So because in those periods Rama has performed as a human being, but nobody followed him. He thought he's a Uttama Purusha, called him Purushottama. Again, Krishna tried to instruct not only Bhagavad Gita Arjuna, many times during his avatar time, he tried to make instructions, but nobody could understand that he is supreme absolute. For that reason, in Kali Yuga we don't have time. अपने पास समय नहीं है, और समय के लिए भगवान ने उनके अंश में he himself incarnated as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He incarnated as Chaitanya Prabhu about 600 to 700 years ago, and as a devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which we can chant anywhere, anytime. So today we have coming to a closing time of today's Bhagavad class. We'll chant his name for some time and disperse for today. Okay? Jaya Sri Krishna. Please tell loudly everyone. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Swasti Prabhavantyam Nyayena Margena Mahimeshaha Godu Nityam Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Kayena Vacha Manasindrivya Buddhyatpate Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Pasmai Narayana Iti Sarpayami Srimana Sarvam Sri Krishna Vastu Mangalam Jai Sri Radha Gopinath ki Jai Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki Jai Sri Nasing Bhagwan ki Jai Sri Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai Sri Panchatattva ki Jai Sri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai Sri Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna